Hey guys, welcome to another video. Sorry for the lack of uploads lately between work and being sick. It's been a little rough, but we're back and I have a brand new series I want to do where I cover every single unit in the game, and we're going to be going over everything, full detailed breakdown of the entire character, mostly for new players who, maybe need some details on how these units work and whether or not they should be investing into them. So today I'm going to go ahead and start with Ludociel, just because, this is the face of my channel. Why not start with the man? I did get him to level 100. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, with this series, we're going to be breaking down units into 3 different categories. That is either going to be a DPS character, where they're going to be doing damage, that is the whole point of the character, whether they are utility, or a hybrid of both. And now some units may have a little bit of, say maybe utility, but they're mostly a DPS, and we'll go over that when it comes to each unit. But for the most part, that's the 3 categories we're going to be putting them in. And then there is another kind of like side little category we could put them under, which is between whether or not they're a PvP unit, a PvE unit, or whether they work well in both. And I'll go into detail about, what their best purpose is in the game as of the recording date. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here with Mr. Ludociel, he is the 4 Archangels Ludociel Flash. He is a speed or blue attribute. He is of the goddess race. He is of the characteristics of the 4 Archangels, and that is starting to become more relevant, more important today. He is a utility unit. He can do a little bit of damage compared to some other utilities. For example, he probably outpaces, like Green Gother, Red Gother in damage. But for the most part, do not try to use him as a DPS. It's not going to work well for you. That is not what he's good for. He is purely utility. But another good thing for him is he has his Grace, which goes into him being a PvP unit, because that is the only thing you're ever going to use him for is PvP. And that's because, well, his passive, my bad. His passive only works in PvP, and it decreases the defense-related stats of all enemies that have a combat class lower than his by 40% for 3 turns. Now, the thing about this is you're going to want really high CC on him, or he's not worth using. So that means you're going to want, a high 6/6 ult level. You're going to want all the cosmetics maxed out. And you're going to want his relic, because his relic is a CC stick, just like Roxy's, where it gives him nothing but stats. It doesn't give him an extra passive. It looks really cool, but it only gives him stats, which it's a little upsetting that they kind of didn't give him an extra cool effect, but it is what it is. At least he can out CC now. Well, except for like Deanne and Trader Meliodas if the enemy has them maxed. But anyways, moving on. His Grace, which you can use as an association on a link, it gives them evasion from Petrify, Freeze, and Stun for 2 turns at the start of the battle. So if you got, Goddess Elizabeth, Amelia, Rom, and what's the other, Shuna. If those characters are running around a lot, this link would be good so that they can't freeze, petrify, or stun your units. But other than that, right now we're not really seeing a whole lot of that, so you're probably better off going with other associations. Even though he is with the big CC stick he has as a relic, he's going to be pretty good at giving your units more CC. So moving on, his skill 1, Blue Shine, inflicts 240% of attack on 1 enemy on level 1, level 2 is 360%, and level 3 is 600%. This attack doesn't do as much damage as most single targets in the game when it comes to the more recent units we've been getting. So again, don't try to use him as a DPS. And then his second card is a Rupture card. At level 1, deals 100% on all enemies, AoE. level 2 is 150, and level 3 is 250. This skill used to be really good at breaking Lich shields, but now that more units are coming out with more defenses and whatnot, teams are becoming more tanky. This skill has kind of dropped off. It just doesn't do enough damage, and there's way better AoE skills out there. So let's go ahead. Oh, and his ultimate real quick. It inflicts damage equal to 525% of attack on all enemies and creates a barrier equal to 80% of the damage. Now that barrier only works on him. It doesn't go on anybody else. It doesn't work like Lolly Merlin's shield. It's just him. And honestly, the ult's kind of weak. It doesn't do that much damage, and the shield doesn't tank as well as it used to. Again, he's an older unit. He has fallen off quite a bit. His relic has made him viable now, but I'm gonna be honest, that's probably not gonna last very long. In the current meta, there's just so many good, powerful units that he's gonna fall off. The Netmarble likes their power creep, and it's unfortunate. So let's go ahead and show you the skills real quick, just in case you don't have the unit and you can't see his skills. I do like them. He is my favorite character in 7 Deadly Sins, and I think they look really cool, but that's probably my own personal bias. And then here's the AoE, the Rupture skill. And then here is his ultimate. So yeah, that's going to be it. This is going to be a new series on my channel. I'm going to try to upload every single day, get one of these videos out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, we have a podcast that happens every single Wednesday over on Torgpool's Twitch. I will leave a link in the description. Please go check him out. Go give him a follow. And then also, I'm going to be uploading videos on Volume Control Gaming's channel. I will also leave a link in the description. Please go check that out. Go subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and y'all have a wonderful day.
四大天使の名にかけて